If you're an agency owner, a coach, consultant, or online service provider, I'm going to bet you know what you're doing. You know how to deliver results. The hard part sometimes is getting to find potential clients to become your clients, or even being able to have that opportunity to chat with them to show your authority and expertise. Because quite honestly, getting in front of the right people and getting them to know, like, and trust you is hard. So my name is Kevin Sanderson from Lead Gen and Nurturing Marketing, otherwise known as LGN Marketing. And I want to share with you a system that I have developed that has been able to generate over $1 million for agencies, coaches, consultants, to be able to scale and scale quickly while also developing your authority and getting some of the top names in your space to actually want to promote you and your offers. Does that sound too good to be true? Well, I'm going to share with you how that's even possible. So let's go ahead and get into it. So just so you know, I have hosted now over 30 virtual summits at the time I record this. I'm constantly doing a lot. I'm kind of a junkie when it comes to that. A little bit of a marketing nerd, but a junkie of virtual events. So I've hosted more webinars and live streams than I even care to pretend to be able to count. So I've gotten to see a lot of what works and what doesn't. So I put them together in this framework, which I'm calling the Grow Marketing System. So basically what that is you have, you start off with events like a virtual summit. You can also do webinars to do that part too, but it's the G, and that's generate leads. So you're finding people who are very specific to the type of prospects and the type of clients that you want. We're talking about high quality leads who want to know, like, and trust you because they're going to invest a lot of time and effort to learn from you and the goodwill of the people that you're bringing to the stage, so to speak, to be part of a virtual event that you're going to put on. Then you're going to relate to them authentically by email marketing. So we've got email frameworks that we use that work, that get people to continue to learn from you and want to hear from you. And then you invite them to things like webinars on an ongoing basis, about once a month or so. And those are where you offer value. So you teach, and then you also have the opportunity to develop your authority even more because people are seeing how much that you're able to provide. Then on top of that, you can also do sort of like a mini virtual summit where maybe you bring on 2 or 3 guest speakers and get them to also potentially share out this webinar that you're hosting. Oftentimes I like to call it a masterclass as opposed to a webinar. Webinar kind of has a weird connotation with some people, not everybody, but either way, it's a very powerful way to get in front of a larger audience than you would necessarily with other means. And then you're going to continue to email them, and that's how you're going to win clients and customers. And all along the way, as you see here, you're sending people to your offers, your calendar, your sales page, whatever mechanism you have, especially if you have any sort of high ticket funnel, you're getting people who are learning to understand your frameworks, your way of thinking, who see the value that you're providing, the goodwill that you're putting out there. They're seeing that some of the most popular people in your space are promoting your event. So that kind of gives you additional credibility and a know, like, and trust factor. And all along the way, you are pointing people to your offers, to your high ticket offers. And this is how you get more people onto your calendar pages. And so if you're wondering, well, what does that look like in practice? So for example, this is an 8-figure agency that I put this together for. And we have put together over about the last year, about $93,000 in MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue. Now, if you put that on an annualized basis, that's about $1.1 million. Now, there is a little asterisk I want to point out here, and that is what we can track. So that $1.1 million is likely much higher. And the reason I say that is because if you think about this, if you're over time getting people to sign up on the calendars, getting people to click on links, they're signing up for webinars and things of that nature, sometimes they just wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to work with that company. And what they do is they don't go back into the emails you sent out saying, hey, click this link to book a meeting or whatever the case is. They go on Google. They just go to the website. they go to the contact page, they book on another calendar. So we have all these ways to try to track them, but they don't always go through that. So that means we're getting people indoctrinated, so to speak, into our way of thinking. And they just decide one day they want to become a client, and they don't go through the links we want them to. So even when the ones that went through the links generated about 1.1 million on an annualized basis, and we talked about $93,000 MRR, so that on an annualized basis is $1.1 million. But on top of that, that's additional revenue that somehow, somewhere came in. The company is generating more revenue than this. So there's more people coming in the door who are either as a result of or highly influenced by this system. And it's not just this particular company. This is a gentleman named John Aspinall that I helped him put together this particular virtual summit. Now, I don't recommend necessarily, especially for your first time, having as many speakers as he has, but he brought together about 40 speakers in his niche. I recommend about 15 to 20, especially on your first one. You don't want to get too crazy on it. But what happens is you have all these people sharing it on, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform they use in your particular space. But they're sharing it out. So that's developing goodwill. All these people are excited because they feel like they're in the cool kids club, and you're the one that invited them in. So that's one of the reasons why a virtual summit is very powerful. Then the people attending the summit are learning from all these awesome people. And so this is a great way to get goodwill. So this was a great way for John to build his email list, as well as he launched some additional services on the back of this virtual summit that he had hosted. And another person, I should say, that I helped out here with this framework is Elizabeth. And so she put together a webinar, kind of like a mini virtual summit, basically with 2-3 speakers. In her case, she had brought in 3 guest speakers. They shared it out to their audiences. She got 222 high quality leads, also got some additional calendar appointments. And so although the 222, she did say in full disclosure that 6 of them were just her self-testing, but still that's over 200 people signing up. So that's people who were from her list that are now more indoctrinated, so to speak, and have more goodwill that she has, for her agency, they've developed goodwill for her agency, I should say. And she got a whole bunch of them to show up. So that's also putting herself out there and warming up and nurturing her existing audience, while also developing new people into her audience coming from the speakers that she brought on. And then also, this is Scott Volker. He's a gentleman I helped put together the Next Level Coach Summit. So what he was looking to do is he's got 2 decent sized YouTube channels, and he was starting to pivot to being all about how to get views on YouTube, to now helping more specifically coaches who have high ticket programs. And so we put together a summit to help him with that. So it helped him create collaborations in his space. It helped him identify who in his audience is specifically interested in that topic, so that he can focus his marketing efforts more on them, and that brings people closer to the cohorts that he was putting together for his program. And then also, this is Meredith, who we helped her put together a virtual summit called the Ignite and Scale Summit. So, if she had run ads, she wouldn't have had as many people sign up potentially for her email list. But in this case, she almost doubled the size of her email list, while instead of paying money to Facebook or YouTube, she brought in over $10,000 in top line revenue. Now, in full disclosure, she does have to pay a little bit out there in affiliate commissions, but this is a great way for her to build her list, create collaborations. She's already developed affiliate relationships with people, so she's got other income streams coming as a result of this. So she was basically living somewhat in a box, and this is my terminology here, but she would say something similar to this, is that she was not getting out there as much as she would have liked with other people in her space. So she developed great relationships with other people in her space, while also making money, building her list, and also, further getting people who are already on her list to have more have more affinity towards her because of the value that she's providing them. So these are all some benefits that you can have of the Grow marketing system. Now, if you'd like to have a little bit more understanding, I should say, of this system, all you got to do is subscribe to this channel. And then if you want, you can just either, if you're watching this, where you can actually type in the chat, in the comment section down below, just put workbook, or you can go to lgnmarketing.com/workbook. And my team and I will send you a copy of a workbook where you can actually start putting together some of the basics of this framework so that you can put it into play into your business, so that you can stand out, identify high quality leads for your business, and then also make some money along the way. And then the nice thing about this too is that if you're doing things like sending out cold emails, if you are doing any sort of paid ads, or you're just praying for referrals, the good news is you can get more people onto your list and nurture them. So this actually helps all of your other marketing efforts, or you can do this as a standalone. So thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you at more videos.